What's up, everyone? Justin here, back with my final part. 1999 Year in Wrestling Reloaded. I think it's part 2 of 1999. I don't know what part, but it's a final part where I will talk about 1999. I'm not going to do every pay-per-view review, because I did that already in the Year in Wrestling shows. Check out my Year in Wrestling playlist where I reviewed every single pay-per-view from the late 80s up to 2015. I reviewed WCW, ECW, WWF pay-per-views. So these are some of the topics I'm going to talk about. Is Vince Russo going to WCW with the jackass, just fat fuck creep Ed Ferrara. I'll talk about that a bit. I'm going to start with some of my favorite pay-per-views from 1999. A lot of them are ECW and WWF, mostly. WCW in 99 did not do good pay-per-views, did not have good pay-per-view events, except for like 1 or 2 matches on some of the pay-per-view shows. I did not enjoy a lot of the WCW pay-per-views in 99. They were trash. A lot of them were just fucking train wrecks, and just stupidity was on the show. On the shows, a lot of stupidity, god awful, stupid, dumb booking and shit like that. For example, summer of 99, Great American Bash. You brought in Master P. What the fuck? That was stupid. I don't think any wrestling fans gave a fuck. I also don't think any rap fans of Master P, I don't think they came over to wrestling. In WCW, it did nothing for either side. It did not help WCW to bring in Master P. You probably paid him way too much. I don't know if Bischoff, I think Bischoff was still in control. If that was Bischoff's idea, that was a bad idea. Master P, I didn't care about him. He's an okay rapper. He had okay music. I don't know how many hits he had. I don't really care. But that was a bad idea. So he brought in Master P. I almost called him Mr. P. Whatever the hell his name was. Master P, I believe. It's a long time ago. We're talking about 21 years ago, people. 21 damn years ago was 1999. Doesn't feel that long ago to me. In 99, I was absolutely obsessed with wrestling. Especially ECW and WWF. Mostly. I still watched WCW, Nitro and stuff, but not as much as ECW and WWF. I watched way more in 99, and I will admit that. But I've seen back everything they've done in 99. I watched it all back already on the network, except for I have not watched all the Thunders yet. I'm still stuck on like January 99 Thunder. So, yeah, some of my favorite pay-per-views: ECW, Living Dangerously 99, Hardcore Heaven 99, Heatwave 99, Anarchy Rules 99, November to Remember 99. We're all fucking really good pay-per-views from ECW. Really good shows. Had at least like 2 to 3 good matches on them. Really good. ECW was carried in 99 by RVD, and Jerry Lynn. Also, the Dudleys were there for at least like 7 to 8 months. They were still there. Taz was still there. He carried ECW in 99 for like 8 or 9 months. ECW 99 lost to Dudleys, I want to say in like September or August. Lost to Dudleys to the WWF. And lost Taz at the same time in like September to the WWF. But Taz won't debut until Royal Rumble 2000. And the Dudleys have explained many times, have said they didn't want to leave. They asked Paul Heyman for a $1 raise and they would have stayed. But Heyman said, no, you have to go. I can't compete with Vince and his millions of dollars. He just said go. But anyways, those are my favorite ECW pay-per-views. WWF, I'd have to say Royal Rumble 99. I Quit. Mankind Rock was brutal, violent, but it was great. St. Valentine's, St. In Your House, or maybe it wasn't called In Your House. St. Valentine's Day Massacre. Great pay-per-view. Vince, Stone Cold in a steel cage. That was awesome. I still can't believe Vince took that bump off the cage and went through the damn announce table, broke his collarbone, I think, or got injured. Anyways, WrestleMania 15, great show. I enjoyed it. Stone Cold Rock main event was awesome. The other matches were okay, but Stone Cold Rock carried WrestleMania 15. Backlash 99, I enjoyed it again. Good pay-per-view, really good. Yeah, about Backlash 99, I remember it was Stone Cold The Rock, rematch for the title. Mankind Big Show in a boiler room brawl. That was fucking violent and brutal. I don't know if that was a real glass window, but Mick Foley ran at the Big Show with a glass window and broke it over his damn head. And then it was brutal to see Mankind take all that punishment from the Big Show. And Mankind, I believe, the thing is Mankind ended up getting his hand like sliced open and had a ton of blood. I'm sure, I don't know if he needs stitches or what. But there was like a white wall behind Mankind when he was leaving that boiler room. He put his blood handprints on the wall. That's pretty good. That's good shit. It wasn't good for Mick Foley. I'm sure he's in pain, but the visual, the scene of blood handprints on the white wall, that was pretty cool. So what pay-per-view is that? Backlash. I enjoyed it. What was the next one? Oh man, Over the Edge. I gotta talk about first a little bit the death of Owen Hart. It was a fucking tragedy. I still believe it was a horrible, horrible accident gone wrong. I hate it that Owen Hart was taken from us like that. Mostly for his family. I believe he does have a son. I don't believe he had a daughter. I think he just had one son. And his wife, Martha Hart. I'm not going to talk about it much because it's too damn painful to talk about. I don't want to think about it. I don't even want to think it happened. I know it happened, but I don't want to think about it as a fan. It's too sad, too depressing. Owen Hart was a great, great, great wrestler. Super funny, great entertainer. All the wrestlers, all his friends, all the boys, all the women. Nobody in wrestling. And WWF had a bad word to say about Owen Hart. The guy was fucking loved. And a super, really good prankster at doing pranks. And he died on live pay-per-view. Really sad. I don't know what I would have done if I was Vince, if I would have stopped this show or keep going. I don't know. I was not in his position. I wouldn't want to be. So I'm going to say here the company that had the harness for Owen Hart, the safety gear fucked up and killed him. They are murderers. Their safety gear did not work. They gave him just, I don't know what to call it, faulty safety gear that could not hold a guy that was like 230, 250 pounds. It couldn't hold him. It snapped. And there's like a harness attached to like a wire, I guess. Watch the Owen Hart Dark Side of the Ring episode. They explain it a lot better than I ever could. What happened with the harness and the gear that was supposed to protect him and lower him safely to the ring. Let's just talk about WCW and Sting getting lowered to the ring. They did it right. Whoever they hired did it right. Because they didn't fuck up. Sting never dropped and fell and injured himself or got killed. Thank God. It's a tragedy that Owen Hart was killed like that. Should have never fucking happened. I blame the equipment. And whoever put him in it, they should have been charged with murder. I think they had to pay out in court Martha Hart. I'm not sure, but I know WWF had to pay her. I think like $30 million. I'm not sure what they paid her. But yeah, the Dark Side of the Ring episode about Owen Hart and the tragedy explains it really good. It's like a harness and it's like a little ring, like this fucking big, circle ring that was supposed to protect them, and it was hooked up to equipment, or hooked up to the wire, a tiny little fucking ring. It couldn't hold a guy over 200 pounds. Why'd they fucking put it on him? That really, really pisses me off, because it was preventable. They shouldn't even made Owen Hart do that shit. The company, WWF, Vince. But Owen Hart did not really, I don't know if he spoke up. But he said, I don't know. I don't think he practiced. And they didn't do a rehearsal of him doing this stunt before the pay-per-view. I don't think he did. But JR said, I believe, he did not feel comfortable doing it, and he looked like he didn't want to do it. I don't blame him. I fucking hate heights. I don't care how much a company pays me. I'm not gonna go up 50 to 100 feet and be lowered by a fucking bungee cord or fucking wire. I would not do that. First off, I'm afraid of heights. Really afraid of heights. That is one of my worst fears. Like being stuck up on a high rise or something. No, thank you. Somehow, at Six Flags, I rode a whole bunch of roller coasters where I was up like 100 feet in the air, or 50 feet up. I don't know. Somehow I don't know, I wasn't that afraid to go on roller coasters. I didn't like it. I didn't enjoy being up high, but I did it. Probably because my friends did it. Back when I was like 19. I haven't been on a roller coaster since I've been 19, and I don't plan on ever going on one again. I don't like heights. I'll just tell you a story. There's a Superman roller coaster. It was not safe. I mean, it's a miracle I didn't break the harness and fall out of it. And nobody else on the ride fell out of their harness. But it was like a fucking harness that went over your chest. You could put your arms out of the harness. And then you're up like 100 fucking feet with your arms out like this. Like you're planking in the fucking air with your arms out. I fucking hated that. I was scared to death. I'm shocked I didn't piss myself because I was fucking up in the air like I was flying. Had my arms out like you're fucking, that's the point of the ride, like you're Superman. I hated it. And my God, that harness did not feel safe enough. Like it could hold me in. Somehow, it's a miracle it held me in. And I didn't fall to my death. But that ride was absolutely terrifying. A Superman roller coaster with a fucking harness attached to you. I should have never went on it. That was after Owen Hart's death. I think it was 2003 when I was on that Superman roller coaster. And I should never went on it because I should have thought of what happened to Owen Hart. But somehow that Superman roller coaster was safer than what they attached to Owen Hart. Obviously, it was safer. So, yeah, the tragedy of Owen Hart. Just rest in peace, Owen. You brought us so many great matches and great memories to watch on the network. Now I'm going to talk about back to my favorite pay-per-views. King of the Ring 99. I enjoyed it a lot. Thought it was good. Fully Loaded 99. I really enjoyed. Stone Cold Taker. I thought it was great. I think it was First Blood. If Vince lost, he had to leave the company, I guess. That was a stipulation and give up his ownership. Of course, Taker lost. Vince had to leave, and I will never forget this. It's burned in my head. At the end of it, JR, Stone Cold shakes Vince's hand. It's Mr. McMahon. And then stuns Mr. McMahon, gives him the Stone Cold Stunner, and I'll never forget. It's so funny to this day. JR yells, or says on commentary, when he shakes Vince's hand, JR's like, "Good night, sweet prince." I just thought that was really funny. And then Vince got stunnered. The crowd was just super fucking hot at Fully Loaded for Stone Cold Taker. All the pay-per-views, WWF, ECW, and 99, all their pay-per-views, the crowds were fucking hot for and sold out. WCW, not so much. The crowds were pretty damn quiet, not that hype or loud. And the buildings kind of look sold out in 99, but who knows? For WCW, I'll continue. SummerSlam 99, I really enjoyed. Unforgiven 99, I loved. Especially the main event, 6-pack challenge. What else? No Mercy 99, I really enjoyed. Hardy's. Edge and Christian made history, the first ever tag team ladder match. It was before TLC, it was epic. They made history. Basically, they created the TLC match. The Hardys and Edge and Christian. They tore it up. It was awesome. And No Mercy 99. I think it was for the Terry Reynolds tournament, Terry Reynolds Invitational, whatever it was called. Hardys won. I think the Hardys won. I'm not sure. I believe they did. And then I think Terry Reynolds was managing the Hardys for a little bit, I think, after that. So, what was that? Survivor Series 99. Wasn't very good, except for Big Show winning the title. That was good. Not Unforgiven. Armageddon 99. I really enjoyed it. Thought it was a really good show. You had X-Pac, Kane feuding in a cage match. Tori was with X-Pac. She added a lot to their feud. What else? Vince, Triple H, Stephanie turned on her dad. That was awesome. And Big Show defeated Big Boss Man. That was not very good, and I think it was really short. The build-up was good. Big Boss Man doing that poem. I should look it up because I don't remember everything he said. But that poem that Big Boss Man did about Big Show's storyline, his father saying his father passed. His father did not pass. He was still alive, I believe. But in the storyline, his father passed, and Big Boss Man decided to write a poem about his dead father on Raw. It was pretty epic. I thought it was damn funny. It was dark. It wasn't supposed to be funny, but I laughed. I thought it was hilarious. But that's just me and my sense of humor. I got a dark sense of humor. Anyways, let me see if I can find it here. Poem about Big Show's father. So I'll be right back in a second. Let me find it. So I found it. Here is the Big Show, Big Boss Man poem about the Big Show's dead father. He wrote a poem and came out on Raw and read it. I believe by this time, I think it was like October, November, 99, December when he did this on Raw. I believe Vince Russo was gone out of WWF already. So whoever the hell wrote the poem, it wasn't Russo. I'm pretty damn sure it was not Vince Russo because he was gone. Maybe it's Vince or some writer. Whoever wrote it is fucking hilarious to me. Here it is. He goes, with the deepest regrets and tears that are soaked, I'm sorry to hear that your dad finally croaked. He lived a full life on his own terms. Soon he'll be buried and eaten by worms. It's sick, but it's hilarious. But if I could have a son as stupid as you, I would wished for cancer so I would die too. So be brave and be strong. Get your life on track, 'cause the old bastard's dead and he ain't never coming back. That's hilarious. That's TV gold. That's comedy gold. That was tremendous. That Big Show, Big Boss Man, that Big Boss Man segment where he read the poem, I thought it was great, tremendous, hilarious, funny as hell. Epic. I think I'm going to watch it back tonight on the network just to laugh again. I thought it was great. Evil heel Big Boss Man was great at the end of 99. That was really cool. At least, I know he's destroyed by Big Show at Armageddon, but at least he got a championship match at a pay-per-view. That was pretty cool. And of course, Ray Traylor, the Big Boss Man, and Big Show, Paul White, I believe were really good friends. So there was no heat for what Big Boss Man said. And anyways, I believe Big Show's real dad was alive at the time. So now I'm going to talk about Beyond the Mat. Beyond the Mat, the wrestling movie, like documentary on Jake the Snake, Mick Foley, and Terry Funk was really fucking good. Beyond the Mat is a really good movie. If you're a wrestling fan, it's must watch. You should see it if you haven't. The Jake the Snake stuff is just fucking depressing and sad as hell. Basically, they're like following around a goddamn drug addict that's trying to get his next fucking high. So I wish the Beyond the Mat I wish they would have took out the Jake the Snake stuff because it was sad. And yeah, some people are praising him, saying he's one of the best promos of all time. And Paul Heyman, I think, praised him in Beyond the Mat. But it was just sad. And then Jake the Snake starts talking about his father, his relationship with his father, which his father is a fucking scumbag. Really bad guy. I believe got his sister pregnant, I believe, and it's just horrendous. If you want to hear one of the saddest, just god-awful stories ever, watch the Jake the Snake WWE DVD documentary, Jake the Snake Pick Your Poison. My God, that Jake the Snake was fucking abused and he was just fucked up. He had a fucked up childhood and teenage years and adult years. My God, he was through fucking hell. I'm glad he's clean and sober now. I hope he stays that way for the rest of his life. But my God, Jake the Snake has some fucking childhood story growing up. It was hell for him. And what he had to live with. He had to live with a fucking, like, pedophile creep for a father. And then he saw his father was, like, respected and loved by all these other wrestlers when he knew the true guy he was. Outside of wrestling, he was a creep and a scumbag piece of shit. Jake the Snake's dad probably should have rotted in jail. I don't even know if he's still alive. I don't even want to say his name because he doesn't deserve to be spoken of. He's probably still alive. I'm not sure. I don't care. He should rot in hell. So, yeah, Jake the Snake, Terry Funk, Mick Foley in Beyond the Mat. I loved the stuff with Terry Funk in it and Mick Foley in it. It was great. Mick Foley had his kids recorded in it. Just crying when he got beat over and over with the chair from The Rock. And then it went like behind the scenes backstage at the Royal Rumble. And Mankind, Mick Foley was trying to tell his kids, I'm okay, daddy just has a little boo-boo. It wasn't a little boo-boo. And of course Mick got a standing ovation backstage from all the boys because the guy's one of the toughest wrestlers of all time. He just went far beyond what he had to do to entertain the fans. He definitely went to the extreme and over the line a lot of times, but that's what he felt he had to do to give the fans their money's worth. In my opinion, Mick Foley, Undertaker, to me, Mick Foley, Undertaker, Ric Flair, those guys are probably, I'll even say, I don't know about really night. I'll throw Sting in there. Sting, Mick Foley, Undertaker, Ric Flair, those guys are probably some of the most respected. Also, Bret Hart is most respected out of all the boys. They probably are the most respected. I don't know. Some wrestlers did not like Bret Hart, but I think he's still respected as being one of the best ever that did not ever injure his opponents. And the guy had good matches with everybody just about. And this is coming from a Shawn Michaels guy. I thought Shawn was better than Bret, but you can't deny Bret Hart was a main eventer. The guy was one of the greats of all time. So, Yeah, Beyond the Mat came out, I believe, in '99, and it's a really good movie. Watch it if you haven't. And one of the worst pay-per-views that took place in '99, Heroes of fucking Wrestling. God awful pay-per-view. God awful. It was such a fail of a pay-per-view. It was so goddamn embarrassing. One good match on it. Heroes of Wrestling, one good match. Stan Lane, Tully Blanchard, that's it. I'm not going to talk about the rest. It was crap. Watch my What the Fuck episode on Heroes of Wrestling I just did. So, I'm going to talk about the Big Boss Man some more because he went to the burial at the graveyard of Big Show's father. He showed up at the burial. My guy with a police car and ran over the Big Show. That was pretty funny, I thought. And then hooked up the casket that the Big Show's father was in. Obviously he wasn't. It was just so outrageous. It was hilarious. Hooked up the casket to his police car and dragged it in the damn graveyard. And then, what made it even more hilarious, Big Show jumped on his dad's casket and started riding it. That was hilarious. I think that was a build up to Armageddon. I think that segment was also on SmackDown. And let's talk about SmackDown on UPN. SmackDown debuted on UPN. I want to say in August. I think before SummerSlam or after, either August or September. SmackDown debuted in 1999. The main event was The Rock, Triple H, Shawn Michaels as a ref. Shawn super kicked The Rock. Triple H defeats him and they screw The Rock. Why was Shawn the ref? I don't know. I guess just to bring in star power. But he was Triple H's DX boy. So who did not think Shawn was going to turn? I kind of didn't, but he did. Shawn was a commissioner in '99 and he did not appear much. I believe he's fighting a drug problem or trying to stay sober and relapsing. He's not a good commissioner because he's barely around. He appeared like 3 to 4 times the whole year, and that's it. But anyways, yeah. SmackDown debuted for the WWF on UPN, and I was really excited about it. You had a lot of extra, mid-carders and main event, mid-card talent appear on SmackDown more than they did on Raw. It was good for the roster and good for all the boys because they had an extra show to work. If they couldn't get on Raw, they got on SmackDown. So now I'm going to talk about, I'm jumping all over the place here. Let's talk about the, again, talent that jumped ship. In '99, the Dudleys and went to WWF and debuted in the end of the summer of '99. And WCW, for some reason, I don't know why, they signed the Sandman. I love the Sandman. Loved him in ECW, but WCW did not need him. They overpaid. They gave him a $250,000 contract for $250K a year to barely do anything. He even said, I believe in a shooting interview I saw, Sandman said he was sitting at home for months and weeks getting paid $10,000 to $20,000 a week for doing nothing. No wonder why WCW died. They did not know how to fucking manage their money and just giving out stupid contracts. That's one of the reasons they died. Guaranteed contracts and just stupidity. So, yeah. They brought in this Sandman, called him Hack. Hardcore Hack. It was stupid. He didn't belong in WCW at all. He did not fit at all. He did have a lot of hardcore matches with Bam Bam and Raven. I enjoyed that, but that was because they were 3 ECW guys. I thought of them as ECW guys. So WCW did not do good on pay-per-views. As I said, in '99, the only matches I enjoyed were very few. I will say DDP winning the world title was good. It was a good decision, good idea, good booking. DDP worked his ass off. He deserved to be world champ. I also enjoyed, they shouldn't have been happening in '99, but I did enjoy Hogan Flair on pay-per-view main events in '99. I will admit I enjoyed them. So now let's get to Vince Russo jumping ship. Vince Russo jumping ship to WCW, went to WCW in '99. I believe October. So let's read some information here about the good run and the good he did for WCW in '99. No, he did not do any good. He was stupid. His booking was god awful. So he thought he could bring to Nitro. Basically, he wanted to copy WWF Raw's War and thought he could copy the Attitude Era. In WCW, it did not work. Thought he could make Monday Nitro like a ripoff of Raw in the Attitude Era. He thought he was going to have edgier storylines, more non-wrestling segments, consistent, constant heel and face turns, increased amount of sexuality on the show, fake retirements, more backstage vignettes, tons of title changes, utilization of mid-card talent, which did not work at all. Russo is so stupid he booked Jushin Thunder Liger losing the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title on an episode of Nitro in late '99. New Japan did not recognize the damn title change. And Jushin Liger lost to Juventud Guerrero after being hit over the head with a tequila bottle. What the fuck? Vince Russo's an idiot. People want to pick on Vince McMahon, that he's one of the worst bookers. I disagree. I don't know. Bruce Pritchard is very good at being whatever he is, executive, head writer. I don't know what he is, but I'm not going to bash Bruce Pritchard and say if he's good or bad. I don't really know. Raw has not been that good in 2020, but I really enjoyed SmackDown. And some stuff on Raw I enjoy. Not much, but some. But there's no way. Not Vince McMahon, not Bruce Pritchard, not Paul Heyman, not Kevin Nash, not Kevin Sullivan, not Eric Bischoff. Nobody was a worse booker than a writer, booker, whatever. Writer of the show, booker, whatever. Nobody was as bad as Vince Russo, in my opinion. He did good in the WWF. I will admit that, in the Attitude Era. Brawl for All was a god-awful idea. But the rest of his ideas were pretty good. because he had Vince McMahon basically telling him what to do, and no, we're not going to do that, and we're not going to use that. And Vince probably changed a ton of Russo's ideas around and made them better. Without Vince McMahon by his side, Vince Russo fucking failed. He failed. He failed in WCW, failed in TNA. And he was not there long. He started, I think, October. I think WCW Mayhem 99 was his first pay-per-view. It was not good. It was a train wreck. Yeah, Bret Hart won the title in Canada. That was cool. That was a good moment. But then Bret got injured. Not his fault, but he got injured. So that screwed that up. Because Bret Hart could not be a top guy anymore. He was gone after Starrcade. So Russo would be fired. He was fired in January 2000. So he lasted like 3 months. Because he's god awful. And whoever hired him realized you're the shits. He was fired over the phone. He was fired. He received a phone call from Bret Hart and Jeff Jarrett, both saying they were injured and they had to vacate their titles. They were part of the new NWO, which did not work. Maybe it would have, but Jarrett and Bret got injured. So, anyways, Russo was fired. Then they brought him back to work with Bischoff, and things just got worse. Really bad. Russo did not put the title on Chris Benoit. That was Kevin Sullivan. That was a great idea, but Benoit didn't care because he wanted to go to WWF anyways. So WCW then had no champion after Benoit left them. He saw the writing on the wall with Perry Saturn, Dean Malenko, Eddie. They all saw the writing on the wall. WCW was a train wreck and it was going to go under. So now in the Russo era, let's go to fucking Halloween Havoc. I don't know if Russo came up with this. I don't. But I think he might have. I'm going to just blame him for this. For the WCW World title, it's supposed to be Sting and Hulk Hogan. Hogan's music played, however, he never came out. Then Sting's music played. This was so fucking weird. I still don't know what the fuck they were trying to do. Was it because Hogan had creative control and did not want a job to Sting? I don't know. Maybe Hogan's to blame. Who knows? This is just so weird. I don't know if they were trying to get the fans to think, oh, this is real. This is a shoot. It was stupid. What were they trying to do? Confuse the fans? Because I was fucking confused. Even watching it back on WWE Network still pisses me off. It wasn't like a screw job. It was just stupidity. I'm sure it's planned, but it was dumb. Dumb shit. Dumb, bad idea. And I'm going to blame Russo. So then Sting was in the ring waiting, and Hogan's music played again. He entered wearing street clothes, holding the WCW title. And Hogan then entered the ring, whispered in Sting's ear, and then Hogan laid down. Maybe because Hogan fucking hated Russo and could tell and see he was a dumbass. Even Hogan would have been a better booker than Russo or writer of a show. But Hogan then laid down. Laid down in the middle of the ring. They didn't have a match. It was pointless. It was stupid. It was a rip-off. It was basically slapping all the fans in the face because we didn't get a match. Sting covered Hogan. The match ended and the bell, without the the match ended with the opening bell never having rung. So it was so goddamn stupid and confusing. I still don't get it. By the way, that Hogan Sting WCW World Title match at Halloween Havoc 99 lasted 3 seconds. That was fucking embarrassing. I don't care if it's a storyline. It's embarrassing and pointless and stupid and should have never fucking been done. And I'm gonna blame Russo for that. So, it wasn't good. Because it just confused everybody. And not in a good way. So, yeah. Vince Russo sucked in WCW. He absolutely failed and dropped the ball. See what else I gotta say here. That's Starrcade 1999 was a mess. Starrcade 99 was a fucking mess. Some of the matches were embarrassing that they were on your biggest show of the year. Matches like, I believe, Medusa, Oklahoma for the Cruiserweight title, I think. That is embarrassing. Should have never happened. Let me try to look it up here. Starrcade 99. It was just not a good show. I can't even think of one match that was good. It's a pay-per-view, by the way, Starrcade 99, that ended Bret Hart's career, sadly. Goldberg was inexperienced, sloppy, messy, injured people in the ring. I don't know how many guys he injured, but he's like stiff and he's like way too hyped up. So, whatever. I'm not going to blame Goldberg for that super kick to Bret because he didn't know what he's doing. Obviously, he threw a super kick that was like way too stiff and hard. So, God almighty. Starrcade 99 was a fucking mess. I haven't watched it in about 20 years. I don't plan to watch it for another 20 years. You had the Mama Lukes. Big Vito used to be in ECW, by the way, in the beginning of 99. Big Vito and Johnny the Bull defeated Disco Inferno, Lash LaRue. That match shouldn't have been on a Starrcade. What the fuck? It wasn't even for the tag titles. Medusa. This was embarrassing. Not because Medusa's a woman and she was won a men's championship. I didn't care. I was fine with that. I didn't have a problem with that, but it was just dumb. Nobody wanted to see Evan Courageous and Medusa go at it on a Starrcade for a title, Cruiserweight title. Medusa defeated Evan Courageous. 3 minutes, by the way. 3 minutes, 32 seconds that match for the Cruiserweight title happened. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. To have a title match on your biggest show go 3 minutes. That's just basically like saying we don't give a fuck about this title. Throw it in the garbage. And by the way, WCW did that in 99. Threw away the WCW TV title that had a lot of history. A lot of great champions held it. A lot of great wrestlers held it. They threw the WCW TV title in the trash. Thing is on a Nitro or Thunder. And then Hacksaw Jim Duggan working as a janitor's gimmick. I'm not joking. Fucking Vince Russo is probably to blame for that shit. Or whoever came up with it. It was shit. Hacksaw found the TV title in the trash, I believe. And then started defending it on WCW Saturday night. It was a mess. And then he just stopped defending it, and the TV title went away forever. That is just so dumb, so unnecessary, disrespectful to throw away the TV title in the trash can on your own TV. How stupid could you be? On your own damn TV show, you throw away one of your own titles. That had a lot of history. So next, you had Norman Smiley defeat Meng for the hardcore to retain the hardcore title. It was too short, 4 minutes. And Meng should have won, by the way. He's legit tougher. That's not believable to me that Norman Smiley could defeat Meng. Nothing against Norman Smiley. The guy's was a great technical wrestler, but he shouldn't have defeated Meng. The Revolution. Shane Douglas, Dean Malenko, Perry Saturn, and Asia. Which Asia was fucking way too built. Looked like a guy in drag. Even though I know she's female. I think she's female. I don't know. I never met her. So, yeah, the Revolution defeated Hacksaw Jim Duggan and the Varsity Club. Kevin Sullivan, Mike Rotundo, Rick Steiner. In an 8-man tag. The Varsity Club, by the way, had a new manager, Leah Meow. She was in ECW in 96 as Kimona Wanalea. One of the best names ever for a wrestler, Kimona Wanalea. Hilarious. But the 8-man tag was not hilarious. It only went 4 minutes, 53 seconds. What the fuck, WCW? God awful booking for Starrcade 99. Because every match was way too quick and it meant nothing. Biggest show of the year, Starrcade 99. Bad, maybe one of the worst WCW pay-per-views of all time. Maybe. So next you had Vampiro with the Misfits. I think the band, the Misfits. I am not sure if they were the real band or just wrestlers calling themselves the Misfits. I don't know much about them or their music, but I know they were a band. Vampiro defeated Steve Dr. Death Williams by disqualification. Then Vampiro, for some reason, defeated Oklahoma. After he defeated Steve Williams, I guess he got to beat up Oklahoma. I was all for that. I hated Oklahoma. Hated the fucking characters. So disrespectful and unnecessary to make fun of JR. And make fun of his Bell's palsy was disgraceful and disgusting. And Oklahoma, Ed Ferrara, I hope you burn in hell, you piece of shit. I hope you're suffering. So up next we had Creative Control. The Harris brothers were Creative Control. What a stupid name for a tag team. Creative Control and Kurt Hennig defeated Harlem Heat and Midnight. Midnight was a black woman, I guess, that was a trained wrestler. She was, again, way too jacked and looked like a guy, in my opinion. Nothing wrong with that, but she looked like a guy. Midnight was not around long, probably because she was no good. In the ring, she was not good. Same with Asia. With the Revolution, Asia was no good. That's why she's out of WCW, out of the business in like a couple months. I don't know how long she lasted on TV. Like 2 to 3 months after Starrcade. I don't know. I don't care. Up next, we had Jeff Jarrett defeat Dustin Rhodes in a bunkhouse brawl. It was okay, I guess. Diamond Dallas Page defeated David Flair in a crowbar on a pole match. What the fuck? Stupid Vince Russo booking with something on a pole match. I hated DDP feuding with David Flair. It was embarrassing. Up next, we had Sting with Elizabeth defeat the Total Package by disqualification. 5 minutes only. That was embarrassing. I felt bad for Sting. This was Starrcade. And Sting only got a 5-minute match with a fucking blown up, roided up, blown up Lex Luger that was over the hill in 99 and didn't need to be wrestling anymore. He lost it in the ring. He was slow as fuck. He was juiced out of his brain on roids. I believe Elizabeth turned on Sting. I think. And whatever, that was a DQ. And poor Elizabeth had to start dating Lex Luger, and look what happened to her with him. Very sad and tragic. Kevin Nash defeated not Psycho Sid, but Sid Vicious in a powerbomb match. A powerbomb match. What the fuck? God awful booking. Kevin Nash wins. Powerbomb Sid. I don't know who was booking at the time. If it was Russo or Kevin Nash or Kevin Sullivan, I don't know. But Starrcade 99 was shit. This was okay. It was a ladder match for the U.S. title. It wasn't long enough. It was a 10-minute ladder match. Chris Benoit defended the U.S. title and defeated Jeff Jarrett to retain. Main event, Bret Hart defeated Goldberg by submission. There was no disqualification for the WCW World title. Bret Hart sadly got injured, concussed, ended his career forever in the ring. He did return to WWE, did wrestle Vince at WrestleMania 26, but he didn't have to do anything really except punch and kick and use a chair and use a sharpshooter. But that's all Bret could do. Because before he came back to WWE, he did suffer a couple strokes, I believe, and a lot of health problems before he returned in 2010. So again, I'm not going to blame Goldberg for ending Bret's career because he was young, he was unexperienced, and probably didn't know his strength and that he was injuring Bret. Starrcade 99 was god-awful. One of the worst pay-per-views of 99 for sure. Heroes of Wrestling was worse. But Starrcade was the second worst pay-per-view of 99. Hope you enjoyed this Year in Wrestling Reloaded 1999, the final part. I'll be back, believe me, for 2000 Year in Wrestling Reloaded, where I will rip apart and destroy and bash and roast Vince Russo in WCW 2000. Bye for now.